Hey, what's going on, all you ghouls and ghosts out there? My name is Mike Macabre, and welcome to the graveyard. As always, if you like what you see, like, subscribe, comment, share the video, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more of my reaction videos, Friday Night Frights, or whatever else I'm doing on this channel. But on tonight's episode, we are doing something very special. Been a long time coming, super excited, very passionate about this particular subject. But this is the inaugural episode of Mouthing Off with Mike Macabre. Yes, indeed, ghouls and ghosts. Enjoy! Mouthing Off, Episode 1. The culinary world, food service industry, coming for you. A little background about what grinds my bones about this. Um, in my personal life, I was a chef. I worked my way up from a dishwasher to prep cook to line cook, all the way up from sous chef, chef de partie, all the way to an executive chef or a head chef. I've worked all kinds of jobs, all different kinds of kitchens. And I have to say, the food industry as a whole is fucking toxic. I I love to cook, don't get me wrong. It is my life passion. It brings people closer together. Food bridges wealth, cultures, locations, the whole gamut. It crosses borders, everything. My favorite food happens to be German food, Cajun or Creole cooking, and Chinese. And I'm not talking about like Americanized Chinese. I'm talking about real Chinese food. Delicious. But my problem with the whole industry being so toxic is, let's start off with pay. The pay is absolutely terrible. It is definitely a job for the passionate. Long hours, no breaks, no um what do you call it? No pay time off, no sick leave. You ask to be perfect 24/7. You get shitted on constantly, and the food waste that I've experienced is truly horrific. I mean, we're talking, at least in like a fine dining setting. Let me kind of set it up for you. You get in these products, right? The products are top of the line, top dollar. What you use is a very the perfect pieces you use, the rest gets thrown away. So you got this huge thing, you probably get like that much of it. It is absolutely ridiculous. The room for profits in any restaurants are razor thin. I've seen chefs doing blow on boxes of produce. I've seen sexual encounters in the walk-in cooler. I've seen chefs crying in the walk-in cooler. I've seen servers crying in the walk-in cooler. I've seen sexual harassment. I've seen people being stabbed on accident, not on purpose. There was a chef holding a knife, tripped, and he was holding like this, and he fell right into it. Didn't get into his heart, but like right here in his chest, and it was scary. I've seen chef wear like thigh high waiter boots, but we have 50-gallon like vat drums that are used to make big batches of soup. He was cranking it, and the cranking mechanism like broke, and the whole thing fell like this, and all the soup poured into um, his waiting boots, and all that hot soup stayed on his skin. He got third-degree burns. I mean, he was out for like a year and a half rehabbing those injuries, and it was pretty horrific. The working conditions are absolutely terrible. Cannot stand that. And then you got the customers where, well, I gotta say you order medium rare steak, but it comes out say a little medium. That's overdone or underdone, and that whole thing is another. Oh, it's just terrible. I've tried to defend the industry like on social media, and I sympathize with the workers, and with the whole COVID thing coming, it kind of put in perspective my me wanting to be a chef, and I just can't do it anymore. My body can't handle it. It uses people and it spits them out, and I wish that wasn't the case, because there are some passionate people out there. Not everyone in this industry is toxic, but something needs to be done about it. Even like for me, like if I could pick like a microcosm of what the food service industry is all about, from the customers to the food, would be McDonald's, and specifically the drive-through at McDonald's. Now, I can't speak for all McDonald's. However, the ones that I happen to frequent, and not more often than I probably should. I know it's not good for you, but drive-throughs are adding like that second drive-through. They have like the main drive-through, and then right next to it they have the second one. And the way the parking lot is situated, there's one entrance on one side and another entrance on the back side. And what ends up happening is the main entrance is from the other side, but the one in the back, the people use, and they're supposed to go around the building, circle around, and then get through into the main line, which nobody does. That absolutely drives me up the fucking wall. How asinine do you have to be to just cut off four cars that are already in line to get into that second line where there's only one other car? That is, it's lazy, it's inconsiderate, amongst other colorful words I could say. It got to the point for me where I can't use the drive-through anymore. It just makes me so fucking infuriated. So I go through to the excuse me, like the park and order, and they bring the food out to. It's so much easier for me. I suffer from anxiety issues to begin with, and I don't know why it bothers me. My wife, it drives her up the wall when I'm like, I'm going to sit, just park the car here. I'm going to order food. Fuck this. I don't care if there's only one other car in the line. I'm going around parking in that because I know my blood's going to boil. Because some fucking jackass, when I'm waiting, when there's like, let's say, two cars in front of me, one in the first spot and one in the second spot, there's always somebody coming around and just doing that quick to get in that second spot before me. Oh, I seriously, sometimes I really want to get out of my car and just fucking berate them, but I know that's not socially acceptable. I got a little bit more sense to that. I'm not a Karen. I'm not a Kyle. I'll just complain to you guys. That's what this whole segment is all about, getting stuff off my chest and hopefully calming me down a little bit, having some fun while I do it. Hoy, 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 hoy. And the fact that McDonald's always gets your order wrong. I mean, it's tired and played out, but it's just so true. I, I, I mean, the workers don't give a fuck. They're making, minimum wage. I mean, it's gone up a little bit since COVID hit and the lockdowns, and more power to you. That's a great thing. Keep hammering them. Keep getting better wages. That's how I feel about that particular issue. I won't talk anymore about that. But they're making pretty low wages, and their turnovers is just teaching new people constantly. Everybody's quitting, getting rehired or hired, and vicious circle there. I can understand why they mess up your orders as much as they do. And of course, they don't give a flying fuck. They really don't. If they did, every order would be perfect, coming out nice and hot and prepared. But it's just for mass consumption, get you in, get you out, get you your money. And McDonald's restaurants aren't even about the burgers anymore. They're about acquiring land. because what they do is when you franchise out I could be wrong, but I think when you franchise out, McDonald's buys the land and they rent it out to the owner. So if for some reason like the owner doesn't want to pay or goes like bankrupt, they take the owner out and they still have that land. And how many restaurants does McDonald's have? All over the fucking world. World domination through burgers, obesity, and heart attacks. That's another thing. Eating out is extremely expensive and it's just plain not good for you. It really is not. Processed food is terrible, but at some point, I mean, all food is processed. But with the way grocery store prices are now, it's almost as expensive as eating out. Like for McDonald's, to feed my family is like about 30, $40. Now, when I make like my whole meals, because well, I used to be a chef, I'm not anymore. I am currently disabled due to COVID, PTSD, anxiety, depression, and my nerve damage in my right dominant hand is still present. And I don't know how well you guys can see that. Apparently now is a permanent thing. Um, I severed my nerves in my tongue, as well as it won't properly heal ever again. Very, very upset about that. Taste for me is very, very different. Very muted. The sensations are very different. I get very thirsty very quickly now, but again, I think that's a little bit more part to due to my medications. But I do digress. I don't even remember where I was going now. Kind of, whew, going through a little bit of a trip here. I think I'll end it at that. I'm sure there's a little bit more I could say, but I think you guys get the gist of why the food industry really grinds my bones on this episode of Mouthing Off with Mike Macabre. If there's something that you like, please let me know in the comment section below. The 6 feet under, I would greatly appreciate it. This being our inaugural episode, I have a bunch other that I would like to do, but it's something that if no one's gonna watch, no one likes, obviously why do it? So feedback is definitely appreciated. Constructive criticism is always welcome. No name calling, no personal attacks, etc., etc. I'm entitled to my opinions, and whether or not you think it's right or wrong. As humans, I think we should be able to meet, in the middle ground. As humans, we can differ on subjects, but at the end of the day, we're all humans just trying to make our existence the best that it possibly can. There's no reason to be hateful and spiteful. I mean, even if this came off as hateful and spiteful, it's not because I'm trying to hate on these people personally. It's just I'm so passionate about cooking, or at least I used to be. I still love cooking for other people in my own family circle and for friends. It's very fulfilling to me, and I want to love the industry that I've dedicated my life to. I just can't. It's just too toxic. And I think the more you talk about it, the more you normalize it, the more you can say, "Oh, wait, that really is a problem." And I think that was the root of this, is to say, "Hey, this is wrong. We should change it. We should progress as a species. This isn't working. Let's change it." So with that being said, I think I'm going to end this inaugural episode of Mouthing Off with Mike Macabre. As always, if you like what you saw, like, subscribe, comment, share the video, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more of my reaction videos, Friday Night Frights, or whatever else I'm doing on this channel. But as always, ghouls and ghosts, stay hungry.